Hello. Welcome to Forex Central YouTube channel. Your way to financial freedom. For more information, make sure to check our other videos in this channel. Before you continue, make sure to like, press the subscribe button, and hit the notification bell icon to receive notification updates every time we upload new videos. Claim your Forex trading course tutorial videos for free. Just press like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. To receive your free Forex courses, please send us your email address at forexcentralofficial@gmail.com with screenshot of your visit in our YouTube channel. We will send it through your email. Thank you. Now let's go for today's video. Forex Central gives special credit to Mohsen Hassan, CEO of MTG, for sharing his expertise and knowledge in Forex trading. Your dedication and commitment to educating others are truly appreciated. We are grateful for your contribution to this Forex Foundation training course.
So, I've got you to look at different brokers and to choose a broker for yourself to open an account with. Now, before jumping into the different platforms and sending orders and whatnot, I want us to look at the different ways of analysis, because this is going to be the foundation that you're going to be using to try and forecast which direction a specific currency is going to go. Now, you have two ways of analyzing a currency. One is technical analysis, and the second one is called fundamental analysis. Now, what is the difference? First of all, what is technical analysis? Technical analysis is going to be the discipline that uses price and volume to identify trading opportunities. So whenever you're looking at a chart like this, which we're going to be getting into that in the next lecture, you're going to be using technical analysis because you're looking at prices and volume in order to predict which direction it's going to go. So you can use anything that has to do with the prices, indicators, a bunch of other things that we're going to be looking at, and volume to try and predict which direction this is going to go. That's the only thing you're going to be looking at. So you use technical analysis basically to have a systematic way of finding high probability entries and exits to generate profits out of this market. Now, what is fundamental analysis? Everything else. So basically everything else that doesn't have to do with price and volume is part of fundamental analysis. So you can look at the politics, you can look at interest rates, employment, GDP, trade deficits, printing money, anything that's not price and volume could be fundamental analysis. So you're looking at fundamental criteria that have an impact on the supply and demand for a specific currency. The way I like to compare technical analysis and fundamental analysis is by looking at real estate. If you're looking to buy a property, well, are you going to look at fundamentals or technicals? Well, it depends. It depends how long you're expecting to hold that product for, that house for. If you want to buy a house and you want to hold it for, 20, 30 years, well, you're going to look at fundamentals. Why? Because you're holding it for long term. So you want to make sure that it has a solid foundation. You want to make sure that it's isolated. So during winter, heat doesn't just dissipate. You might want to make sure that there's not going to be a bridge built near your house in the near future. You want to make sure it's in a great neighborhood. All of that stuff, right? You don't care too much about, current price, how much the house next door just sold or things like that, because you're holding it for, 30 years. So you expect its value to be based on these fundamental things that you looked at. Now, you might also want to look at how much you can rent it for, all of that stuff. Now, if you plan on just flipping a house, buying it and selling it, then you're not going to look too much about fundamentals. You don't care if in 10 years there's going to be a bridge. You don't care about all of these little things. You don't care about the isolation. You want to buy it and sell it the next week. What you truly care about is technicals. So what is the supply and demand right now? So how many houses transacted, how many purchases and liquidations happened in the last month and the last week? How much houses nearby in the same neighborhood sold at, and how frequent that is. That way you can have an idea of how much you can sell it at very soon, so you can buy and flip the house. It's the same thing in all types of trading. When you're looking at something for long term, you have to keep in mind about the fundamentals, because that's what's truly going to matter in the long run. But if you're trading something in the short term, then there's not enough time for those fundamentals to be valued correctly. What you want to look at is technicals. Now, that doesn't mean that if you're trading short term, you should just disregard fundamentals. It just means that you're going to look at it in a different way. So what I suggest that you do, and this is how I and most traders have learned, is to basically start off with technicals. And the reason why is because technicals are way easier in the Forex market. Okay, so you start off by technicals, looking at different technical indicators to give you a entry and exit points. Now, while you're doing that, you also have to look at fundamentals to avoid big events that might impact the currency very strongly. Now, as you're doing that, fundamentals is going to be something that you're going to learn as you go. Why? Because fundamentals is so broad and it's not a set function that you can just follow. There's so many things that can happen and that interact with one another. To really understand fundamentals for Forex, you need to do several macroeconomic classes. So it's a long period of study to really understand how these things impact one another. And the best way to do that is, as you're trading, read the news, see how different events impact your currency, and you're going to learn more and more and more about fundamental analysis and be able to use that to have longer term directional plays on different currencies and know exactly when a specific event happens, how that will affect your currency. So when it happens again in the future, you're able to capitalize on it. I myself still today learn a lot about fundamental analysis as I see more and more types of events. And some types of events I've seen so many times that I trade on them in a very confident way. So in this course, technical analysis is going to take the larger portion of this section, but we're also going to look at fundamental analysis in a way to look at what should we avoid so we do not get hit while there's a specific type of event. And then as you go along, as you go through your career of trading, you're going to learn more and more about fundamental analysis.